Genetically, I'm saying it's doing
It is funny because it's the only hair we've ever known, but people seem fascinated.
This week, I sat down with Donald Trump's 4 oldest children. Donald Jr., 37, Ivanka, 34, Eric, 31, and Tiffany, 22. Not surprisingly, they all think their father would make the perfect president. What makes your father tick?
Work. Honestly, work and family. He's the last man you'll ever see that'll take 3 weeks and go to Aspen or 3 weeks and go somewhere. I mean, he loves work.
I need a quick show of hands. Which one of you is most like your father?
Well, in fairness, I think we're all like him in very different ways.
You know, it's actually very scary. We can go to Thanksgiving, right? And we can all sit there and pick an answer the same question using the exact same words in the same sequence.
Trumpisms.
I relish those holiday meals because we can really sort of let loose. I mean, it is a show. I mean, in and of itself. I mean, it's funny and we have a good time making fun of each other and just having a blast.
I first met Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, his children by his first wife, Ivana, in 2004. The subject was nepotism. Do you ever try to hide your name?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't, especially when I was younger. There were times where it was just, you didn't want to have to deal with everyone making those assumptions, however ignorant they may be, that I don't say, introduce myself as just Don, or something like that, avoid the last name at all costs.
Today, all 3 wear their last name as a badge of honor, working as executive vice presidents at the family business.
With this, and that adds value to that apartment.
Tiffany, Trump's daughter by his second wife, Marla Maples, is a senior at her father's alma mater, the University of Pennsylvania, with plans to go to law school. Tiffany, people are meeting you today, many people for the first time.
Yes.
To grow up with the name Tiffany Trump,
Yes.
that's not easy.
I think that it's all I know. I'm so happy to be Tiffany Trump. I'm so happy to be, in the family I'm in with my siblings and my father and my mother.
Your father has said that he was not, I'm using his words, very present when you were growing up.
I would challenge him on that because he was very available to us and accessible to us.
Regardless of what he was doing, regardless of who he was meeting with, if we called, he took the phone. I mean, from when we were 6 years old, I'd call, he'd be negotiating with the CEO of a major bank or whatever it may be, and he would make them wait. He'd take the call from us.
Our times together were learning, playing in his office. He would always sneak me down to get a candy bar, in the lobby.
He found a way that was true to him to connect with us that maybe is a little less traditional. His work is his passion, and he found a way to share it with us.
They say their father also taught them to respect the value of a dollar.
He was the first to tell us how privileged we are, and with that privilege, how much responsibility we had to really sort of earn what we were so lucky to have been afforded since birth.
Well, that's where I word earn. I mean, he made us work. We were on construction sites and we were working, and at the end of the day, you were tired and you earned minimum wage, and you take that money that you had and you go out and spend on something good.
To say we weren't spoiled would be laughable, but we were spoiled with great education, great experiences, but we weren't the kids showing up to college with a Ferrari. We always had to sort of earn whatever it is that we wanted, and that, I think, prevented us from doing a lot of the other things that you've seen as, downfalls, perhaps, in other children who have similar circumstances.
And it seems the Donald Trump work ethic is in their DNA.
You better do a good job or you're fired.
And we refer to it as the Trump guilt. It's when we wake up on Saturday and we're not working.
You have said, Ivanka, of your father, that he bred you to compete with each other. What do you compete over?
I think we all have a very competitive spirit, and I think that can be harnessed in one of 2 ways. To our detriment, meaning that we're competitive in spite of ourselves, or for the positive, which means we push each other.
Who is his favorite?
I'm going with Ivanka. I'm going with Ivanka.
Ivanka is perhaps the most well-known of the quartet. The former model-turned-fashion mogul has taken a page out of her father's business playbook, putting her name on everything from shoes to handbags, fragrance. She says she is proud to be following in her father's footsteps.
Today, I have the honor of introducing a man who needs no introduction.
How was it decided that you would be the one who would introduce your father as a presidential candidate?
That's an excellent question, and I don't know actually how it was decided, but I was honored to do it, and I feel like I was standing there sort of representing our family.
And she did an amazing job, by the way.
She's a great messenger. She got such great poise, I think, and also the way Ivanka delivered the message was perfect, and I don't think any of us could have done better.
And she absolutely has beauty over the two of us. So.
Yes, there's definitely an element. We ain't got that.
They say they all are their father's biggest cheerleaders, supporting him at the debates and on social media. Has your father ever said anything on the campaign trail that made you cringe?
Truthfully, no.
No?
He's not a big believer in PC culture where every statement you make you have to vet very carefully through thousands of people. But if people really break down what he's trying to say, there's no malice in there. He's just cutting through the nonsense and getting to the point and not wasting time. That's what he does.
He's true to himself, and he speaks in a way that the average person can understand. I think that's refreshing for everyone.
Well, you have been saying the most wonderful things about your father, and you should be very pleased and proud. If there is one thing you could change about your father, what would it be?
Listen, I don't think any of us would be sitting here glowing the way we are if we'd want to change aspects of his personality or who he is.
Something.
We really.
Something that's...
I want him to eat healthier.
I agree
There you go.
I agree with that 100%.
Sometimes I'll tell him, like, oh, you have to, slow down, but it's the only speed he knows. And I kind of love that about him.
I'm not going to get one thing.
I love the occasional, Saturday morning where I don't get the call at 5 o'clock. Like, why aren't you in the office? It's like, come on, you had to do that.
He's a